Hello and welcome to workshop 7. So we're going to take a little break from our normal stuff, and as you've probably noticed, we're in lockdown again, and we're having to get you to try and achieve your maximum mathematical results at a distance. And distance learning is hard. So what you have to do is, when you're learning, is you have to show a lot of discipline. And one of these, so basically what this means is there's a few things that will help you to pass. One, keep your normal timetable. So this goes for all of your lectures and all of your coursework. If you have a lecture at 10 o'clock, try and watch the Panopto at 10 o'clock. Do not let Panopto recordings stack up. People always think that, yeah, we've recorded the lecture, we can catch up. No, you can't. It's been shown off so often that if you try and catch up at the end, you will do very, very badly. So try and keep to your normal structure. If you have 10 o'clock workshop like now, watch it at 10 o'clock. Do the workshop at 10 o'clock. So don't rely on Panopto. Panopto is only a backup. As a primary learning resource, it is crap. But 2, we are trying to have normal exams. So normal exams. At the moment, we're not allowed to have classes with more than 100 people in it. There's 140 something if you enrolled in 102. Therefore, we must do the teaching, the lectures and such like remotely. And we will be doing also, but we will be trying to make sure that the exams are done in person, even if, normally we like to have more than 1 meter spacing anyway, so you can't read your next door neighbour's papers. Also, we're going to be trying to do normal tutorials in future. We're going to try and get back to that as soon as possible. And that means you physically turn up and wear masks, make sure you wear masks, sit apart from each other. Unfortunately, it's going to be a bit more like a normal lecture than we like, but still remember, lectures are where we teach you stuff. Tutorials are where you're allowed to ask questions. So if you have questions about what you're doing, about the math, that's when you ask them in tutorials. And the tutor doesn't have to stick strictly to that stuff. They can actually answer relevant material for you. But again, if you can, make sure you turn up to tutorials. We'll try and make sure we record at least one Zoom tutorial each week. So for those who are stuck in Auckland or wherever, but contact us so we can give you the links. What else? When you are actually studying at home, set up a workspace. Have an area that's dedicated just to your university work. And that will help. Keeping the normal timetable, setting up a workspace. When you're in that space, you're doing engineering. When you're out not in that space, you're doing whatever students do during lockdown. So, okay, number 5, important. Do all of the work. This is still important even when in lockdown, or even when we're having these level 2 stuff or remote. Still try and do the assignments. Unfortunately, at the moment, we're going to have to mark them electronically, which means you don't get a lot of feedback. We'll try what we can. But a lot of the reason that we give you those assignments is they are practice. And maths is a skill. So maths is something you have to practice and practice and practice, just like riding a bicycle or juggling or playing basketball. The more you practice under supervision, the better you get. So make sure you do all of the do everything. So as I said, this will also help when you get to the exam, because we are trying for that physical exam. And of course, my bit, do the workshops. And that includes listening to me rabbiting on and these things. Since we've put the rabbiting on, or me been rabbiting on in classes and workshops, the pass rate's gone up. And that's because, and it will help your long-term learning. That's one thing that's really surprising. Those who focus exactly on the exam questions do worse in second year than those who have a bit of range and broadness put in. So part of my job is to give you that range of what engineering is, and contextualizing it. Why are you doing it? But do the workshops. And just like in the workshops in class, if you get 3 out of 5, if you get 3 out of 5 equals full marks. If you get 2 out of 5, so if you get 3 out of 5, you get 5 marks for it. If you get 2 out of 5, we're still going to give you 4 marks out of 5 for the workshop. If you get 1 question right, we're going to give you 3 marks because you tried, you learned something. And this is what workshops are about. Workshops are about learning something, actually practicing and doing and doing and doing. And if you get 0, but you attempt at least 1 question, then we'll give you 2 marks. Because you actually turn up, you tried something, you had a look at it, you got some feedback. The way they're set up is there's 5 multi-choice questions. So as I said, if you get 3 right, 4 marks. You get 1 attempt per question. So just be aware of that. I might loosen it up to 2 attempts per question in future. And you get 1 shot at the workshop. Unfortunately, last year, we left it a little more open and people go through the workshop and they get 1 right, but they find out what all the correct answers were, then they redo the workshop and get, no, we don't want people using creative methods to pass here. This is about learning. Okay, so speaking of learning, we do actually have some problems for you, but just to summarize quickly what we do, keep structure, as much structure as you can. The more structure you keep, I know structure and students don't always go together. The more structure you keep, the better you will do in the long run, the better you'll do in second year, the third year, fourth year. Do your tutorial, do all the tutorials, do all the workshops, set up your own workspace. But don't forget to have breaks. Everybody's got to have the occasional break. So anyway, we have some workshop questions for you. I'll go back to my normal rabbiting next week about why we're doing this and what context. But the big thing is we want you to pass and we want you to learn, because what you learn now, you'll build on in level 2. If you use creative methods now, you just fail later. So we want to make sure you've actually learned it and not just tried to fake it. So good luck on everything. Hopefully we're in level 1 shortly. We go back to face, because that is much more effective. But good luck on the workshop, and I'll have a look and see how many people did it.